WMNH, rip the knob off.
Oh, I love it. I love it. That is The Clockwork Man. The band is Warhog. This is Matt Connarton Unleashed. And we have Warhog with us via Skype. Hey, guys.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, welcome back. I was looking, it's been over a year since the last time we talked, but
Yeah.
you guys have been doing some great. I love the new songs. I especially love the Cybertooth one, Hunt of the Cybertooth, which is what we're going to play later. What a great song. But I really like all three of these tracks that you sent us, and well done, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Absolutely, really good. Now, you guys are for people who aren't familiar, you are from, is it Dallas, Texas?
Yes, that's correct.
Very good. And when you were on with us last time, I think you had, how many albums did you have at that point? Did you just have the one, or did you just have the singles? Like, I forget now. It's been a while.
I think we just had the one.
We might have had a live album too, but we definitely just had the one, our first studio album.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. You've definitely evolved. This is great stuff. By the way, now, so who do we have with us? Is the full band with us via Skype, or who do we have?
We've got her. Scott's here.
Eric, I play guitar.
Robert, drums. And Justin on bass.
All right. No, it's great. Great to have you all here. Are you? Is it early there? Are you an hour behind us? You're not the same time zone, right? So you're So
I'm really driving Justin crazy because I'm a morning person and he is not, and I've had 2 mimosas and he is barely waking up. So he's
2 cups of coffee and I'm still like irritated.
He's ready to kill me.
Right.
That's awesome.
No, I'm glad you guys are all able to join us today. So how now are these tracks that you sent us, are these already out and available?
One of them is the Clockwork Man that you just played is out and has been out, and that song has kind of a funny story. We put that together, I guess, at the very end of 2022. I've got some friends that do YouTube content on a channel of theirs, and they had written that song, The Clockwork Man, as a sea shanty for like an episode that they do of their they do Star Wars parodies. I could go down this whole rabbit hole, but I won't because I want to make sure we talk about us. But
yes.
I collaborate with them on a lot of stuff. I sang on this sea shanty called The Clockwork Man, and when they sent me the lyrics, I looked at them and I was just like, man, this reads and it in my head sounds just like an Iron Maiden song. And so before I even did my vocals for the pirate version, the shanty version, I sent the guys back basically the fully baked version of Clockwork Man with me doing all the MIDI drums and everything.
Wow.
And it turned out so good that they used it in the episode.
Oh wow.
as the
credits, right?
Yeah, as the credits music. And then Eric kind of was like, well, let's just do it as a whole band thing. And we started playing it live and people really liked it. So we recorded it properly and got the live drums and everything. And so the version you just heard is the version that we released of our version of The Clockwork Man. So it's a little bit of a cover, but all that music is original to us. And it doesn't, the real version doesn't sound anything like that.
Really? Yeah.
It literally is a sea shanty.
It's a sea shanty. It's 4-part a cappella. It's ridiculous.
Oh, no kidding.
You need to send this to me. I need to hear this.
Yeah.
I will. I'll send it to you.
What's their YouTube channel? We can give them a plug.
They're called the Auralnauts. Auralnauts.
Okay.
Auralnauts. They've been around for years. They do a lot of really funny parody stuff and sound editing things. They're great, and I love those guys. I'm good friends with them, and they brought me in on a lot of their stuff and really kind of expanded our visibility. But I love them, and so anytime I get to work with them is a real treat.
Yeah, very cool. By the way, what does that mean? What is a Clockwork Man? What does that mean?
So basically, in their version, what they do is they take existing media like a Star Wars movie and they strip everything away but the video, and then they redo all the audio. So they redo the dialogue and the music and the sound effects, and they edit it up into something entirely different. And in their version of the Star Wars saga, C-3PO is this kind of deranged, bloodthirsty, murderous monster.
Yeah.
And because they started with the first, like with Phantom Menace, where he doesn't have an outer covering, he's obsessed with getting skin and being human.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I will send you some stuff. It really is a rabbit hole that you have to go down. But if anybody is listening that thinks that this sounds at all remotely funny, it is. It's worth your time. I'll send you some stuff. But yeah, C-3PO in their version of Star Wars is the clock. He is a mythical monster that people sing songs about.
I was going to say, so the song is kind of like an urban legend song.
Yeah.
Kind of like Bloody Mary.
Like 1, 2,
wow.
Freddy's coming for you.
Yeah, be careful. Don't talk about the Clockwork Man because he'll come and take your skin. That kind of thing.
Oh my God.
It's great.
That's great. Yeah, I've got to see that.
Yeah.
Right.
So anyway, that's the Clockwork Man.
That's awesome. And what is we're gonna play it later, but Hunt of the Cybertooth. What does that mean? What is that about? I love the song, by the way. It's very you can sing along to it. It's so good. But what is the meaning behind that?
So that was my idea. So when we have our first album called The Voyager, is essentially a barbarian quest type song, and we said, let's go the opposite direction and like do a bunch of dystopian and futuristic like 80s theme songs. And I literally came up with this idea of a future, kind of like The Purge, but everybody goes into their house at night and they hide because the government has built a cybernetic tiger.
Okay.
Hunts criminals at night. And if you're out on the streets and you have any kind of like criminal history, he's basically going to kill you.
Okay. Okay.
So now I
Reasons
don't
to
know
not
if you
get
remember,
arrested.
I think we talked about this when we talked the last time. You know, because of the way Eric and I write, we have so much material kind of just in the hopper waiting. I think this song was actually written the last time we were on the radio with you guys.
Oh.
Yeah.
But Eric explained it to me just like that. He like messaged me one day and he was like, "Hey, I'm writing the song. It's called The Hunt for the Cybertooth." And I was like, "That's the dumbest title." And I think it might be the greatest thing you've ever written.
Yeah.
And he explained it just like that. And I was like, without even hearing it or seeing lyrics, I can't wait to see what this is.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's amazing. And the song turned out great, which is hilarious. That it's a pretty fun song to play.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's one of those ridiculous things we just pushed hard into, just fantasy weird
played
stuff.
it one time live, and the reception on it was everybody was like, "You have to play that every show."
Yeah.
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 By the way, our friend Melanie from the great state of Vermont, she's in the chat room. She says, "Nice. Government cybernetic tigers are fantastic."
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Our friends.
We're excited about it.
Yeah.
And by the way, you sent us another track too, a self-titled track called Warhog, and I like that too. We might actually end up playing both that and Hunt of the Cybertooth if we have time. But any particular meaning behind that? It's always a bold move when a band puts out a song with the same title as the band. It's been done, but rarely has it been done.
Well, a lot of the bands that I like to listen to do exactly that. There's Iron Maiden has Iron Maiden.
True.
Black Sabbath has Black Sabbath, right? Like Hammerfall has Hammerfall, right? Like
Yeah.
a lot of the power metal and like old 80s kind of big arena metal bands do that. And I just said the same thing to Eric one day. I was like,
There's actually a Halloween who has their own song.
True.
Yeah.
And I told Eric, I was like, we should do a song that has our name in the title, like all the cool 80s bands do. And Eric was like, okay. And then he literally just the next day was like, here it is.
I wrote our anthem.
That's awesome.
So far, like we played this once, and I have a lot of friends and family that come and support us that don't like metal, and everyone that I show this song to is like, I love this song and I hate metal.
Yeah. That's really cool. Well,
Yeah.
you've convinced me. We're gonna play both of those
Awesome.
today. Absolutely.
It's that song features all of us on vocals in the middle.
Yeah.
So that was a fun thing to do.
Yeah.
Awesome. Do you guys do you play out a lot? Are you playing a lot of shows these days, or what's the live situation?
Yeah, we started this year kind of strong. We played a metal showcase in Dallas at a venue called Trees, which is a big, kind of really well-known venue, definitely in town, but like lots of bands have played there in their earlier days. Like Nirvana played there, Tool played there.
Yeah.
It's a big.
It's a national stop.
Yeah. And we played a metal showcase there with a bunch of our friends, bands that we knew, and had a really good turnout. So if our friends are listening and they came to that show, thank you so much. Because that show got us a gig in front of a band called Crypta, who is a metal band from Brazil. They were coming through 3 weeks later. And so we played that show we played our show on a Saturday, and Monday, I think I had an email from the owner of the venue that said, "Hey, we've got a band coming in from Brazil. Would you like to open? Can you open? Are you available?" And we were like, yes. Now, keep in mind, Robert joined the band the week before we played that show.
Wow.
Because Ben had to quit. Our original drummer, Ben, he made the decision to leave the band in the summer of 23. And so going into Christmas time, we were contacting other drummers looking for, getting auditions started. We had talked to Robert and we'd said like after the new year, let's learn some songs and get you in the room and see how it goes. And then the gig showed up for this showcase, and we were like, well, instead of 3 songs, can you learn 6? And he jumped in, and
how about a working audition?
Yeah.
Wow.
And it went so well. I mean, it was going really well that we were like, this is the guy. We don't need to audition anybody else. And then the next big show at the same venue happens. We played twice at Trees back to back, like less than 3 weeks apart. And we did that, and then we immediately were like, all right, this is good. Robert's in. Let's get in the studio and start recording stuff. Because we've got all these, like Cybertooth was ready to record, Warhog was ready to record. We've got a bunch of stuff.
We've got 3 EPs that are all written and essentially produced minus the drums.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and these 3 EPs essentially, when we release them through this year, will become one album.
Okay.
But just because of how the current state of music is, people want like instant gratification. So we're not going to do one album and make everybody wait a year. We decided to piecemeal it through the year and put a single here, an EP there, that kind of thing, and then wrap it up in a nice package at the end of the year.
Yeah. Very cool. Yeah, that does seem, we live in an era where you've got so many different options, and we may have even talked about this the last time you were on with us, but I have noticed, especially in the last couple of years, that seems to be what a lot of the artists that we talk to on the show are doing now. Is they'll release, they might release a series of singles that eventually become an album. It's kind of the inverse of how it used to be. Growing up, a band puts out an album and there's several singles or maybe 1 or 2 singles depending on how it, how it's selling, and now it's kind of been flipped around. So, but it's nice to have those options.
Yeah,
it is, and I think also to your point. You used to get an album and there might be 3 good songs on it and then 6 of them are okay.
Yeah.
And I feel like now the pressure is like every song has to be a banger.
That's an interesting comment. I never thought of it that way, but you're right. That's a really good point.
Yeah. I mean, even I think if you go all the way back, right, like Black Sabbath's Paranoid was in Tony Iommi's own words, like that was supposed to be a filler song. They just needed 2.5 minutes of something to fill the other side of the record.
Yeah.
And so he like farted out Paranoid, right? And that's a classic, like of all time heavy metal song, right? But on our end, then every song needs to be a Paranoid, right? That can stand on its own and work without the rest of what's going on. So.
It's funny. I didn't know that. I didn't know the story behind Paranoid, but that's interesting because that kind of explains why, because Bill Ward on that song, it's such a basic drum pattern for him compared to everything else he does. Paranoid is so simple.
I guess I'll play this.
Yeah, Tony. Yeah. I mean, I saw an interview. Tony Iommi was like, they were at lunch and I sat down and wrote that riff and just put words to it, and they came back and we just recorded it. Like that song was never intended to be really anything more than the song between 2 other ones,
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I didn't know that. I was in a band that we actually covered Paranoid, and the reason, because we wanted to do a Black Sabbath song, but none of us were we didn't quite have the chops to tackle something really complex, or at least our drummer didn't, because the drums, Bill Ward was such an interesting drummer. And but Paranoid, it's like so easy. I mean, it's just easy.
The first cover song I played on the band too.
Yeah. Are you guys influenced by? You mentioned Iron Maiden, of course. What are some of the other artists that you guys are influenced by? Is it a lot of sort of power metal stuff? Or
so Scott is definitely the power metal guy. Iron Maiden, Ozzy, that kind of stuff. I don't want to speak for him too much.
Yeah.
I'm kind of all over the spectrum. I grew up loving death metal. I love Pantera, being from Texas. I like Mastodon. I mean, when I write songs, I try to take influence from everybody, but at the end of the day, I love Iron Maiden and stuff just as much as Scott does.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say just as
much. Close.
Yeah, we all grew up in the 90s, so, the zeitgeist of metals, Metallica, Megadeth, Pantera, Ozzy, all those bands end up in the mix somehow, and then, as we've grown older, just certain things sink in a little bit more, but it's all there, right? Like, I think, in Cybertooth, and we'll play it and you'll hear it, that last chorus is like, I totally did Soundgarden. I totally was like, oh, I should do a Chris Cornell vocal here at the end of. People won't be expecting grunge at the end of Cybertooth.
Yes.
And it worked really good.
Yeah, so like it's
awesome.
all in there, right?
It's awesome. Yeah. No, you're right. I didn't think of it quite that way, the Chris Cornell thing, but you're right. Yeah, and it does. It totally works for the song. Are these is what you do in the studio, is any of that difficult to replicate live? Because you've got a lot of like these big vocals and whatnot. Is any of that a challenge, or do you even worry? Maybe you don't even worry about it. Maybe if it's a little bit raw live, that's okay. I don't know. I mean, how do you approach that? I can pretty much pull off all the stuff that I'm doing on the record live. Yeah,
minus the backing vocals.
And then to that point, the boys, Eric and Justin, have gotten really good about stepping up to the plate and the microphone.
Yeah,
and
Cybertooth, we played it live, and me and Justin did a lot of the backing vocals, and
I thought that went really well. I mean, the crowd reacted to it, especially at the end.
Yeah,
when we're both doing it, and then Scott comes in with that Chris Cornell part.
Yeah.
They're doing really good with jumping up and sharing some of the vocals, and I think it's fun for me to have them doing it as well. But I think from the audience perspective, when you have the three guys across the top all on microphones shouting stuff at the audience at once, like it's a powerful kind of experience and interaction.
You'll hear it in Warhog, like you'll know what part it is that we all
and people react to it. So we're working really hard to kind of pull some of that stuff in as much as we can.
Yeah. Where do you guys record?
So I'm the engineer and producer, and honestly, a lot of the stuff that we do, thanks to technology, we do from the comfort of our own home. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, you can, like, I don't even capture live amps anymore. I use amp sims exclusively. Mm-hmm. So we literally plug into a computer and record our parts. Scott records literally right where we're sitting right now, his vocals. He has a little vocal dampening field he puts around him and belts out files. We usually use Dropbox to exchange stuff. The only thing that we really have to do in any kind of like special setting is the drums. And we do have, a rehearsal space. And honestly, it's soundproofed and it's the perfect size to record drums in. So right now, Robert's kit is there all mic'd up. And when we do practice, we're very careful to not knock any mics over. But I mean, that's pretty much how we do it. And then I take it and put on my headphones and start mixing and mastering. And what you hear is essentially what I get.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is remarkable. We live in a time where you can do it that way. I'm old enough to remember when there was no such thing as Dropbox and file sharing.
And a little Tascam, maybe. I mean, Scott and I joke all the time that our 18-year-old selves would just be blown away with what we can do now, where we used to use a tape recorder to, like, overdub guitars and stuff.
Two boom boxes set next to each other, so I could do like a playback and then play over it.
Yeah, exactly.
Singing in the shower.
Exactly.
Reverb.
Yeah, to get good reverb. Yeah. Poor Robert though. I mean, he's, like I said, he's new to the band, and we're really putting him through the grinder because as soon as we played those shows, it was like, all right, let's pack up the rehearsal stuff and get the kit in here.
And to start recording.
And he's been just learning songs and recording them like every couple of weeks. It's just a cycle of like learn, practice, record, learn, practice, record.
Yep.
So,
are
you having fun with that?
Oh, it's a blast. I look forward to recording. Great material to work with. Love it.
Kind of been a good luck charm for us too, because we were all of a sudden he shows up in the band and we get 2 shows immediately at Trees. And I know we were talking about live stuff earlier. You didn't mention going down to Austin.
Yeah, we're going to Austin and we're going to San Marcos, Texas. We've got some shows on the road, and then we're actually this summer when we play this summer, we're opening for Drowning Pool.
Nice.
Yeah. So we have a lot of really cool stuff going on top of releasing all the music that we're releasing.
Yeah. Oh, very cool. Yeah, you guys got a lot going on. By the way, do you have any videos? Because your songs certainly would lend themselves to some sort of theatrical video. Do you have any?
So we actually just had a lyric video made for Warhog, and we literally, before we got on your show this morning, approved the final product. I used an artist on Fiverr that does a lot of videos for like Century Media, Nuclear Blast, a bunch of other labels, and it's spectacular.
It's pretty good.
Really? Yeah.
So we're working with a PR firm right now, and I think we're set next week probably to release it. And once we do, we'll send y'all the link. We all giggled with how it came out. It's pretty awesome.
It's pretty good.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, I look forward to forward to seeing that. Very nice, very nice. Well, guys, the time does go so fast. We want to get those songs in, and then of course, for those of you listening live, we have Eric Pilcher's classic film review coming up, and then in the third hour, we're joined by another great band, Conduit, who are going to be here with us live in studio. But before we let you guys go, and we're gonna I'm dying to share the song "Hunt of the Cybertooth" with everybody because I love it so much, and we're gonna play Warhog too. But what should people know in terms of because we have a lot of listeners locally here, but also just all over the place. What should people know about where to find you online to keep up with everything that you're doing and find your music and the video when it's out and all of that? What should people know about where to find you guys?
Facebook and Instagram, we are Warhog DFW. We've got a website, warhogband.com. We've got Bandcamp, which is warhog.com, bandcamp.warhog.com. But yeah, we're really active on Facebook. We're really active on Instagram. So follow us there and keep up with all the stuff that we've got going on and putting out and releasing and sharing. So that's the best way to keep up with us.
Yeah, and we're on every streaming platform.
That's right.
And then if you want to buy physical media, like anything from shirts, mugs, whatever, we have that on our website. And then we have the availability to buy and download MP3s as well.
Yeah.
Very cool. Oh, by the way, Melanie said in the chat room, I bet the next band doesn't have a government-made cybernetic tiger song.
I would not think so.
If they do, we might have to talk.
It's a real niche kind of song topic.
Yes.
That we wanted to corner fast and early.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. Good. Yeah, you're ahead of the curve. That's
if
good.
anybody in Dallas comes out with any animal-themed cybernetic monsters in the next 12 months, we're going to be pissed.
Absolutely. All right, Warhog, gentlemen, thank you all so much for joining us this morning. We appreciate you. We will do this again in the future, especially as you continue to release new music. Great stuff. And so I'm gonna hit this track. But guys, thank you so much. Warhog.
Thank you, Matt.
Thanks,
Thanks, Jen. We
Thank you.
appreciate
Thank
you
you.
guys.
All right, thank you. Take care.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye. All right, without further ado, here it is. This is we're going to play both of them. We're going to play this, and then we're going to play the Warhog, the song Warhog by the band Warhog, and then we're going to get to Eric's film review. But here, I love this. Check this out. This is Hunt of the Cybertooth. The band is Warhog here on Matt Connarton Unleashed.
There's no use hiding the truth. There's no escaping the hunt of the cyber tooth. The time is nigh, it hunts again. No one dares be out tonight. A master sleuth, a cyber tooth, programmed to stay on sight. It roams the streets on flesh and feasts. The guilty scream with fright. In the shadows, the creature slays. The last thing you'll see tonight. Last thing you'll see tonight. Criminals cower in fear. Say goodbye to all that you hold dear. There's no use hiding the truth. There's no escaping the hunt of the cyber truth. Criminals cower in fear. Say goodbye to all that you hold dear. There's no use hiding the truth. There's no escaping